welcome everybody. Here I am in my new craft room, so I thought let's make a recording. So I am making some Halloween altered cards, playing cards. Now I know it's only May, but I am working on a spooky journal. So I got these wonderful cards, you see, from New Orleans from my friend Sabine, and I thought I would alter some to go in my Secret Spooky Society altered file folder journal thingy that I'm making. So that's the back of the card, and this is what I did to the front. So it'll be purely in the journal as a decorative piece. I've really enjoyed doing it, enjoyed putting it together, and so I thought I'd show you how I made it. So without further ado, let's get started. Just going to get myself a baby wipe out because I am determined to keep my new craft room tidy. Right, so first of all, just put that to one side. First of all, I got my playing card. Here we go, New Orleans. And I made sure it's the right way up. Got a little bit of sandpaper, and because this is glossy, I mean the cards you use might not be glossy, but you need some tooth for the glue and things to get hold of, so just sandpaper that glossiness off. Doesn't take much. Now I'm doing this for Halloween, but there's no reason why you couldn't do it for anything else. Christmas, spring, summer, autumn, winter, whatever you desire. Just going to wipe that off, all those the dust. There we go. So what I did next, and I am going to use Fabri-Tac. Now normally I would just use something like Mod Podge. However, one, I haven't got any Mod Podge, I need to make some. And two, the Fabri-Tac dries really quickly, so we're not waiting around for it to dry. Right, there we go. So I've got some, this is old Fabri-Tac, this, I'm near the end of this bottle, and it's just upside down, so I'm just going to squeeze that on. And like I say, I would not normally use this. I just use some PVA or Mod Podge, but I just want it to dry quick. Then we're not on screen yet. So then on there, you just want some scraps, and my scraps are all sorted out. So let's just get some stuck on. Just stick that on however you would like it. I've got some bit of Edith. Oh no, it's not Edith Holden. Similar writing, but it isn't Edith Holden. That's some old paper there. And I did have some French. Here it is. So let's just stick a little bit of French paper on here. It doesn't really matter too much because it will be covered up. You can, on this one, you can just about see the paper underneath. So it doesn't really matter. But I do believe in doing every layer as nice as you can do. Ooh, look, I found another one to alter after. In doing every layer as nice as you possibly can. Because ultimately your work will show through. So next, see, if I'd used PVA or Mod Podge, I'd be waiting for it to dry now, but I'm not. Fabri-Tac is quick to dry. Not only that, it is so warm here, we're having a really warm weekend, that the Fabri-Tac is drying very quickly. There we go. Got my little rubbish pile going now. I need to bring my bin. I've not brought everything up yet. I have got here, when I was sorting out, I found this glue, quickie glue pen. So if I've got any little areas, I remember buying these probably pre-COVID. These are called glue pen, pinpoint rollers. And I put them away, and obviously while I've been tidying up, I have managed to find everything. I will rough those edges up shortly. Now I've got some clear gesso, and the reason I'm painting this on is just to give my page a bit of tooth again, you know, so that whatever I use on it will grip, or I can move around or what have you. It's just an artist medium for the base coat, and although it looks white, it will dry clear. You can use white gesso if you want to do. The choice is yours. So there it is. It's on there, and it will, like I say, it will dry clear. And also it dries, you can feel it quite rough. I'm just going to put that to one side there just to dry. And I can give you a quick demonstration. I've got 2 pieces of paper here. One is just an ordinary piece of coffee dyed paper. The other I've put gesso on, clear gesso. Can you hear it? So I'm going to use a Stabilo, because on this one I did my edges with Stabilo to get that dark sort of grungy look on there. So if, for example, I drew a circle on there, and let's draw a circle on there. So if you get some water on your finger, can you see it pretty much still looks like the circle? There's not much happening. Let's hope this one works. If you put it on there, can you see how you can move that Stabilo around? And that's the same with paint. So that's why the gesso, which is this one, or another medium underneath, is useful, because you can work that Stabilo. If I tried to work that, all I'd do now is make a hole in the paper. So there you go, quick little tip. Right, back to this. Not quite dry. I'm very quickly just going to give this a quick, whoops, sorry, I was wrapped around my gesso then. Let me just have a look. Yep, we're there. Just going to quickly dry this. So normally dries really quickly. It's probably because I did put quite a thick layer on. Let me just zoom in a little bit more. Right, we're back on track. Yes. Right, so next I got my this is just some Distress Oxide. This is the Tim Holtz Hickory Smoke, and I lightly sprayed over, and that gives me the grey look to my page, to my card. I mean, it's the grey look. It's just like this. It's like, why are you wiping paper? I'm being as neat and tidy as I can. I bet in another 3 weeks it'll be like all over again. I actually know where everything is, which is absolutely amazing. Just give this a little dry. So next I'm going to stencil next. I'll not do the Stabilo. So this is the stencil I used. It just reminded me of a little bit like I don't know. Just thought it looked a bit spooky, a bit like slug trailing and things. And this is one of these stamps, and Tim Ulp Stampers Anonymous. Just going to put that on there. I've got some black acrylic, just cheap acrylic, nothing expensive, just acrylic. Let's put that at the side. Blob of that there. I've got a little sponge. It's just my little sponge off one of them but square, and I don't know where the square one is. I'm sure I'll find it as I sort through my boxes. So here we go, and I'm just going to go over that. I'm not bothered about it being even because I like the uneven look. And I am going to, immediately after I've done this video, I will go and wash my stencil. So when I take it off, so I've gone a bit heavy there, but it doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter. Now what I did next is I actually put some little dots on using my Versamarker, and I went all over and just put little dots. I've just gone little dot crazy. This is actually, because that's wet up there, that will take the embossing powder. So I've gone around, put a few dots on just to add another layer, to add another dimension. Just wipe that up. Put a little bit too much on there, didn't I? Normally I'd be making a batch of cards, so I would have used all that up. I'm going to put this on my piece of paper, and let's take the lid off, that helps. Sprinkle over. You can see some of the dots, but also because it wasn't completely dry, I love how it's gone along some of the lines. I'm just going to get a little brush and just brush some of this off down here that I don't want on. Let's just do a couple more dotties. What I love about junk journaling is you can't really go wrong, can you? You just, if you make a mistake or anything, you just work with it. Nearly blew there then. I'd have ended up with that all over my beautiful new worktop. Right, I've poured that back in. I'll put the lid back on it, and now the magic will happen with the heat gun. So obviously I have to use the heat gun now to heat this up. Lovely. I actually, it's not quite proved. I love that effect because I'd because it was still slightly wet, the black acrylic, when I've put the acrylic on, I've like got this lovely cobwebby effect up here. Can you see? Let's see. Oh, you see that? Like that. Right, let's continue. Right. So next I did the old Stabilo around the edge. Am I too close? Stabilo around the edge. See, I like to be close when I'm doing finer work, then you can see it, but then some people say, oh, you're too close. But if you're looking on your smartphone, you can actually zoom in and out yourself. I'm using the old Laura Marie spit and smudge. I do want one of them little things, you know, little sponges that you can put water and then you can do that. I've got a little list going of things I need, so I'm just gluing that down a bit better. And then I have got one of them little rougher things, but I'm not sure where it is yet. It will appear. I've got a few boxes to unpack yet. So then I'm just going around the edge, roughing up. Don't want that to come off. Let's just use some of this glue. That little quickie stick might not have been enough then. Right. So there's the base. And then I looked at my bits and bobs. So I've got some out here, some bits and bobs. Actually, do you know, I've got some of these. I'm going to glue these on here. And metal. I've got them out and obviously just not glued them on. A couple of them on there. Yes, you know them tiny, don't know what they're called. They've got an tiny heads, something like that. Let's just stick them on there. This is my massive problem. I think I finished embellishing and then I come up with something else. Right, so those can go on there. You see those on there? Yeah. Just finish it off with a little bit of metal work. Right, sorry, back to the one in question. So I have actually chosen this lady. Oh, do I want this lady? I'm going to do this lady. So because these are shiny, these Tim Holtz, I do just rough them down a little bit, and I got something I bought from a thrift store, a charity shop. I got this little file, and it just comes in perfectly for just like gently just going over. Then using a big dab of, I mean, you can use sandpaper, a big dab of sandpaper, but that comes in perfect for that. Right. So I need to have a sat on something, just wipe my bits off. Make sure I'm the right way up. Yep. So I've got some like Tim Holtz, these little cards. So I could have a sat on one of, so she looks like she is sat on it. There is that one, or there is this one. I'm going to sit around that one, I think. So I'm going to put this down with some cheesecloth behind. Let's just rough up. This is previously dyed. I think I dyed this in black tea. Looks like this. It was dyed in black tea, yep. Saved all my bits. Might use them as well. You know, the bits that you pull off the edge. Right, let's stick that on. Oh, what am I doing? Come back, come back. I'm supposed to be sticking this on. That's stuck to my finger now, at least I won't lose it. Right, so let's stick this on. It's just adding another layer, another dimension, another element to the work. Stick that on, and everything just stick to my fingers. Stick that on the right way up. Right, lady, I'm going to put the lady on first, and then I'm going to use some distress crayons just to distress her up a little bit. Just pop her on as though she's sat on that. Oh, lovely. Lovely. And then, have I got a witch's hat? Oh, I've got a ghost. No, I could have done... do with making a witch's hat. I've got some little pieces of black card here, so I'm going to cut a piece of card and I'm just gonna cut it all. What we typically see as a witch's hat. It's a bit too tall, that one. Cut it a bit smaller. Pop that on her head. Come out. Oh, mine's green. Sorry if I moved out of the screen then. I'm going to put that there on her head. I don't know if you can see it very well. It's black hat on a black background. So let's now get these. Oh, these are called Diamantes, and they're like Swarovski ones. So let's just get a couple. Do you know, I've even got tweezers. Let's get some out. Oh, back to the nails. Nails. It does not want to turn over, that one. I just want to check if it's the right size. That's all I want to do. Or if it's too big, too big. So I've got some tiny ones. Oh, unless I put a big one and a tiny one. I think I will. Right, let's just put a couple of glue spots on. So these are like little Swarovski beads, little Swarovski flatbacks, cabochon type things. So we do that, and then we get our stick that one there. Let's flip this one. Oh, okay, you don't want to flip, but you will stick to the glue. There we go, those are on a pointed hat. So yeah, I've got billions of those. I ordered a couple of bags, not realising what like 1,000 looked like, and ended up, I think I ordered 3 bags, ended up with several thousand. Right, so I've got this flower and I have painted it with clear gesso, so it again has got the rough feel to it, and I'm just going to use some ground espresso. When I go over that, you do the get off, Distress Oxide is grabbing quite nicely to it, and just sort of gives it like a little, maybe like an effect of plaster work. So I'm going to stick that on there. I've only put out my old glues. I'm not allowing myself to use my new glues until these are used up. That on there. I've got this little butterfly. I might put that over the flower actually. I think I will. Let's just choose the Distress ink on the butterfly, just to get rid of the whiteness, shab it up a bit. Come on, Fabri-Tac. I suppose I could have put one of those diamantes in there, but I'm not, because I've used them on a hat. Put that butterfly there. Right, now a dress I'm going to do, as per these, I'm going to do them in that duck egg blur distress crayon. I'm going to go over the dress, and just where I've sanded it, it just grips very, very nicely. It just adds that extra bit of colour, just makes it pop a little bit. I've got some lace. Should I pick this little piece of lace out as well? Do I want that on? No, I think it's fine as it is. So there we go, a completed, altered card, and it's just a little piece of New Orleans there to go within the haunted journal. There we go, that's 2 of them. I'm really, really pleased with those. And I'm going to switch the camera off now, and I'm going to make a 3rd one, because I'd obviously intended to make 3. So thank you for these cards, Sabine. They're great, and they're going to look great in my journal. Thank you so much. I'm Sharon, and this is Be Divine Vintage. Hopefully back on track now in my new craft room, so hopefully I'll be producing more and more videos. I've got something planned for tomorrow in my big altered book, so I'll catch up with you later. Bye bye. Thank you for watching.